Hi, my name is David and I'm making Java videos for AP Computer Science. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is where you can download the Java JDK with NetBeans, and the combination of the two will allow you to program Java. I find this to be the most efficient IDE. So you can either go on the URL from the top, or you can find it in the comments box, and then all you have to do is click accept license agreement and then click the link that you need to download it. Let me open up NetBeans. Okay, so NetBeans is formatted into groups called projects, and so we're gonna create a new project so that we can get started. So all you have to do is click File, New Project, and then Java Application, and then Next, and then the project name would be called, let's say, first project, and then sorry, that's already taken, so my project. You can call it whatever you want. And then after create main class, I'm going to change the part after the period to cat, because that's going to be the theme of our project, and I'll explain very soon what main class is. And then I click finish. Okay, this is cat.java. It created it for us. So Java is an object-oriented language, which means that the code in Java is grouped into these classes. For example, the class cat. Each class serves to be an object template. And what an object template is a template for creating new objects with the same format. It's very intuitive. You think about creating a cat called Tom. How do we do that? All we have to do is create a class called cat, and then add features to the class cat. Its ability to walk, its ability to eat, its ability to drink. After that, we add qualities to the class, such as its age, its height, all those stuff, its color. And then after we've added that, all we have to do is summon it into existence by creating a new cat called Tom. The template becomes an object. It's very simple. Okay, so I'm going to describe to you the different components of a class. Actually, before I do that, let me explain to you how the code works. So the code is stored into files called .java. In this case, cat.java. When you want to click the run button to run the project to make the code work, you click the play button up here, the green triangle. After that, it will convert cat.java into cat.class, and cat.class can be used to by the Java machine, virtual machine, to run your program, essentially. So .java is where your code is stored. .class is what the machine actually is able to read. Okay, so, and that's called compilation or compiling, when you convert .java to .class. And execution is what happens when the code is actually ran by the virtual machine. Okay, now back to creating a class. So classes have a couple of components. To define the class itself, we say, ignore this part, we'll discuss this later. It's just heading. But the important part is the fact that it has the word class, followed by a space, followed by the name of your class, followed by brackets. That's how you create a class. And it's important to note that Java is case sensitive, so be careful of that. Another thing is a method. When we said that a cat needed features, functions, things to do, such as eating and sleeping, that's what a method is for. A method like this one. This is one of the default methods, and I'll explain why. But a method is composed of a heading again, all these heading words, then the method name, no word class or method, just the heading name, and then parentheses with potentially something inside it, but always parentheses, and then brackets. And then the brackets of each one encloses what the content of it is. So remember, there's another thing to classes besides methods, and that's not only its features, but its quality. So, like nouns kinda, and those are called variables. And this specific one is when it's directly under a class is called a global variable. For example, I can create a height to this cat, and what a variable is composed of is the variable type, in this case integer, the variable name, in this case height, and then the equals sign, and then which indicates that you're going to store an initial value to the variable, and then the value itself. And then we end every statement, every declaration, all statements with a semicolon. Not a group like a class or a method. Those are ended with brackets, but all statements are ended with semicolons. Note that a variable does not have to have an initial value. If we don't know a good initial value, then we can leave it blank and set a value later. This is such as string, like name, semicolon. And you don't have to understand what int is or string is. Just for now, just understand that variables can either be declared with an initial value or without, and they all have a type and a name. Okay, so what is this main method that we were just talking about? The main method has this exact format every single time, and it is part of every single project. The main method is you have to know for a lot of the AP Computer Science tests. Well, not usually know how to write it, but sometimes for your classes you do, but mainly know what it is. So what the main method does is Java is not ran from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. That would be very hard to program in. So essentially what you do is it finds somewhere to start, and where it starts is at the beginning of the main method. So the first content in the main method is the first thing that starts, and then it runs down the main method from top to bottom of the method itself, and then anytime you call another method, it will jump to that method, and that method will be ran from top to bottom. That's how it works. It goes through methods, because remember that methods are the function of the functions of the classes, and so therefore it can be processed or gone through the code. Each part of the code can be interpreted one by one. Okay, so that's the main method. And then what we have a name for the class that encloses the main method. Very simply, it's called the main class. And the main class does not have any special purpose, or except for the fact that it encloses the main method, but it also has the same name as the file it's in. So in this case, the main class is cat, and the file is called cat.java. It all makes sense. Let me talk a little bit about naming conventions, because that's very important. It tends to be that when you name classes, you capitalize every single first letter of each word, like so. In this case, there's only one word. When you name methods, you have the first word lowercase, like here. But if there are any other words, like any more words, then you would do the same thing as a class. So you would say like main, hello, bye. You capitalize the H and the B in hello, bye. But yeah. In variables, when you name variables, you want to name them so that well, this one kind of depends. I've seen some all lowercase, but that usually does not happen. I've seen some named like methods and some named by classes like classes. So you might want to ask your teacher, or look at more examples to see which one you'll want to follow. Be careful that when you name a variable, you do not start the variable with numbers. You can put numbers anywhere else in the variable name, but you can't put it at the front. So here gives an error indicated by the red squiggly line. You can put symbols nowhere. So symbols will immediately give you an error. Okay, and also when you name the project name, it's the same idea as a class, especially because the project name has to follow the main class's name. There are two ways to comment, and what a comment is essentially the Java compiler will not be able to read it. Anything inside a comment is just there for the programmer and other people viewing the programmer's code. There are two ways to comment. One is the one-line comment, and the one-line comment is indicated by here like double slashes. You can put anything before it and it will still be read, but anything after the double lines in the same line here is all turned gray, meaning that it's not interpreted. So you can add whatever you want there. The other way is to add a /* /*, and then let NetBeans close it for you by clicking enter. And so it will automatically generate the other half, which is */. And we'll also add this unnecessary asterisk here, but just to make it look in the same line. But essentially you need this type of format, the /*//. And then you can put anything in between. And what this is essentially a multiple line comment. So you can have as many lines as you want, and it's started and stopped by the /*//. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you very soon.